Alrighty. So to catch those up who are not here, on the Tian An Men bridge, which I have to add Casey back in. Shuffle some things around. Yeah, that looks right. Yeah, so on the Tian An Men, you have been tasked with the inhabitants of the homeworld you're currently orbiting around to fulfill their deal with the Federation and with Starfleet for military defense should they ever need it. And just as you say that you will, if you remember from last week, a mysterious ship appears in system. A rather large ship, brownish in color. Really, the ship forms more like a rectangle than anything. It kind of looks like, so to put this in perspective, it kind of looks like a cargo ship, like like how like a one of our cargo ships are like rectangular shaped. It kind of looks like that. Just to
Gotcha.
kind of give you a little visual of it.
Yeah. Well, I think you said last time it looks like it's been like retrofitted with armor and enhanced guns, that sort of thing.
And it has.
Okay. I was about to say, please correct me if I'm wrong on that, because I would love to be wrong on that.
I mean, it looks very rough around the edges.
Okay.
So it might have had like a phaser array welded on where a phaser array used to not exist. That type of stuff. So crew of the Tian An Men, what do you do?
Casey, let's get a quick scan of that vessel. I know it looks a bit ramshackle, but let's learn anything we can about it.
Hi, Captain.
That's probably reason science diff 1.
Get momentum, take a thread. And sensor operations focus.
Yep. Right, and then ship sensor science. All right, so you gain 2. So on your scanners, it's a larger ship, probably a scale 6 or so. You're not reading massive weaponry, but you are reading like a high shield capacity.
Okay. You said scale 6?
Yeah.
You're not getting audio through my Roll20, are you?
I'm not
Discord. Okay, good.
Helm, what's the distance to the ship?
Looks to be extreme range, Captain. They're just at the edge of the system now.
All right, I believe I called red alert last time, so
Well, then let's get the annoying sound going.
Ops, hail the planet.
Oh, I gotta remember who the person for that planet was.
Go
Which
ahead.
one was it?
Yeah, Grace. Grace was the person. For the Sylvians.
And on screen appears the governess.
Governess, are you seeing what we're seeing?
Yes, that is the ship who has entered our space.
Have you fought this ship? Is it? Can you tell me anything about it? Is it maneuverable? Is it just well shielded? Anything?
We do not have defensive systems, Captain. They entered our space several months ago, destroyed our communications relay, and stole our people.
All right, well, I just want to be honest with you and transparent. Based on what we saw in our sensor readings, we might be outgunned. We'll try to stay in contact with you, but I don't think it will serve either one of us if this comes to a fight. Looks like there's a good chance that we'll lose. Whatever happens, trust me that Starfleet will fulfill its treaty obligations.
Thank you, Captain.
Tian An Men out. Ops, open a hailing frequency. To the unidentified ship.
Channel open, Captain.
Unidentified vessel. This is Captain DeGrasse of the USS Tian An Men. We understand that you've had encounters with this planet before, not all of which have been friendly. However, I'm hopeful that you'll be open to a conversation. If so, please reply. Unidentified vessel. If you are open to a conversation, please reply.
Captain, they've initiated pulse drive and are on course toward the planet.
They're on course where?
Toward the planet.
Ops, cut communications. Get us in contact with the expedition.
All right. Meanwhile, on the expedition, I should probably theater the mind this. Captain Prax, you are led through a series of underground tunnels, all at gunpoint by several guards. When you are led to a small 3 meter by 3 meter cell, as the door behind you is slammed shut.
With accordance with Federation protocol, I am entitled to representation.
You start hearing laughing you start hearing an individual laugh from the cell next to yours.
And what's so funny?
You truly don't realize where you're at, do you, Missy?
A cold, dark place with metal bars.
You're half right. This is where they throw those they do not wish to be found.
And
I hope you like dank pits, because you're going to be here forever.
oh, and I take it you know this from experience.
I have been locked in this pit for nearly 35 years.
And what exactly are you guilty of?
It's been so long I don't even remember.
Clearly, you must remember why you've been jailed and imprisoned in such a manner.
Political discourse. Spoke out against our government, and look where they threw me. There were 8 of us originally in my group. I'm all that's left.
Clearly, they feed you.
Oh, yes, that they do, if you want to call it food. Each one of these cells have little chutes that they dump whatever it is they feed us. And he points out like a very small, probably 3-inch by 3-inch opening in the wall.
Do I still have my comm badge?
No, they removed all your equipment.
So you haven't seen a single person
Oh, they fill up the cells periodically. There was an individual here last time. Oh, Casey, now I'm hearing that roll 20. Hello?
All right.
Yeah, it looks like your audio's coming through roll 20 now.
Okay.
Had this weird echo thing. Test.
Where's the setting to disable it? They change it? Yeah, audio and video I have. Others can. Is this still going?
It might have came from my end. I might have had my headset too close to the microphone.
Well, in the roll 20, I'm seeing like this little voice thing on Casey's thing. Like this little bar.
Under audio and video I have. Others can hear or see none, and I can hear or see none. So I don't know what other setting I would hit.
Say something again.
Hello?
Huh. That's weird because I just set mine to none and it did not help.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the video icon. Okay, microphone. Ouch, that's disabled. Sure.
Try it again. Or say something again.
Yeah, it's I with the grass suggestion I just disabled roll 20 from using my microphone.
Yeah, that seemed to have fixed it.
Thanks.
Alrighty. What was he saying? Oh yeah. In fact, in the very cell you're in now, there looked somebody rather similar to you with all those spots.
Well, clearly they came down and gave him a ritual beating every now and then.
Oh, I heard that. Almost every day.
So
They would take
stranger,
him off to another room. The screams, the sounds are ungodly.
So stranger, what is your name? I'm Captain Prax. Well, assuming I have a ship left.
I am Mikub. It is a pleasure to meet you, Captain Prax. Perhaps you will last longer than the others.
Well, they gave me a deadline of 24 hours to prove my innocence, yet they don't wish to speak with me, so it would mean their minds are made up already.
Now perhaps you understand a little something about our justice system.
I can see why you would promote, be a activist against it.
So tell me, Captain, how is it you came down, you found yourself in this sad state?
By orders of my superiors, I was sent to, well, do a check up on all colonies and outposts in the region to make sure that their needs are being met and nothing is of foul play. Apparently, there is some foul play going on here. And they blame me for it. I just would like to know what that foul play really is.
Well, it sounds as though you have quite the mystery to solve, Captain Prax.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about um, people going missing?
Give me a presence command difficulty 2.
Take a threat. Persuasion for a focus.
Yep. Gain 1. I do hear things and pick up things from time to time. I'm sure a deal could be worked out. An exchange, if you will.
She just raises an eyebrow. Exchange?
I've been down here for a very long time, Captain. Since you seem very determined to get out of here, perhaps you can take me with you in exchange for all I know.
Well, I would have to get out of here first, and that's, well, a little hard. And clearly, you've been a prisoner for 30 years. I would be very surprised if you know anything.
I mean, if you don't want to hear what I know, then I suppose we'll be neighbors for perhaps another 30 years or more.
To be honest, I'm not sure if I can even promise you that I will be able to get you out, or if I can even get out of here. So either case, maybe you should have a little faith, and maybe we could work together. But I would need to know certain information in order to get out.
I suppose I have nothing to lose. And then he kind of leans in. Here is what I know. And I think we'll head to the bridge of the expedition. Who am I looking to grab?
Yeah, who's the first officer now?
Technically Krim, but I'm going to work on that. So on the expedition, you have probably been in You've been in orbit for a few hours, I would say. When Commander Crims comes busting out of the captain's room. Lieutenant Bedin.
Yes, sir.
A runabout is scheduled to arrive in approximately 25 minutes. See to it that... Ooh, let me find the sheet. That a Commander Lawrence is taken on board. I'll be in engineering.
Of course. Yes, sir.
And he angrily walks off the bridge. Right, and then for speed of plot purposes, we have the expedition hailed by a runabout.
Well, I guess this must be it. And then,
If I can find my hailing button.
yeah,
There it is.
Bedin will take the hail.
USS Expedition. I'm Commander Lawrence. I understand you're in need of a first officer.
I think we are. Yes.
Very good. I plan to beam aboard in approximately 5 minutes. Bring me up to speed on the current situation when I arrive.
Understood. We'll be happy to have you.
Very good. Lawrence out. Now the big question is, who wants to play Lawrence?
AC.
I guess I don't have a character on the expedition, so
Oh, do I even have a transporter pad?
I was going to suggest making Sokolov the acting captain. It's like, what supporting characters do we have that are even a lieutenant?
Right, so in the transporter room, Bedin will have you meet the commander. If I can find
Commander
my transporter.
Lawrence. Commander Lawrence, sir, it's good to have you aboard.
Thank you. And you are?
Lieutenant Commander Bedin, Chief of Security.
A pleasure. I suppose we should get right to business.
We should. We have a bit of a situation, so I'll explain on the way.
And I guess they'll start immediately heading to the bridge.
Yeah. And Bedin will explain the situation that we were tasked with basically dividing up the work in scanning a number of planets and colonies, and essentially doing health checks for them. So the expedition went one way, Tian An Men went the other. and we were specifically looking for signs of, any population being stolen or anything else like that. After an encounter, actually, Casey, have you heard anything about this arc so far?
I read the logs about the massacre from last session or whatever, and it was like a Jem'Hadar colony.
It was, yeah. So apparently somebody set up a Jem'Hadar colony with Federation buildings, and seemingly it's a Federation colony. But in the course of that, I guess in addition to what was in the logs, the Jem'Hadar might be breeding sexually instead of, through their breeding tanks, right? So first discovery. Second discovery is that I think Prax might have mentioned this in his uh, medical log, but we did pick up a few survivors. So after this, we were tasked by the Admiralty to do some more wellness checks at a few more colonies and planets, basically to see what was going on. And at the end of last session, there was something of a prisoner exchange. So Prax volunteered herself to be taken prisoner in exchange for beaming up whoever was being imprisoned. And that turned out to be a much younger DeGrasse. So,
Interesting.
yeah, presumably my younger version of my character is currently on board the expedition, and we currently have no captain and no first officer, so you're the guy.
You guys have just been rolling for staff service.
Krim was technically pulling double duty, first
Right.
officer and chief of engineering, but yeah, kind of getting to him, so we needed a first officer. His character, not the player.
Yeah.
So that is what Bedden tells Lawrence on their way to the bridge.
Oh, and
Yeah,
the
what
captain
a
is
situation to walk into. Hey, I'm here to do my new job. Okay, the captain's gone. There isn't. uh, we're dealing with a mysterious armed ship. Yeah. Welcome aboard. You're in charge. But I've never been on this ship before.
Oh, Prax, did you have something?
and other than Prax was taken mere seconds after making like an exchange deal.
Yeah, it was pretty much instantaneous that Prax was lifted off the bridge.
Well, hopefully our GM will return shortly.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice he was gone this next time. Should we just start telling jokes so we don't have dead air?
You have any good ones?
Nothing that would be tame enough to not get us kicked off Twitch. Do you have any Norwegian jokes?
I don't know. There's a joke from Bergen where some tourist asks the kid, "Is there ever a day without rain in Bergen?" And the kid answers, "I don't know. I'm only 10."
I like that.
Like for average for the month of October, I think Bergen sees 23 days of rain
Jesus Christ.
out of 31 days of the month. It's like one of the rainiest cities in Earth, pretty much. But it actually was sunny the 3 days I was in Bergen. Well, not fully. Like it rained, but not all the time I was there.
Nice. Seems a little like Seattle. Rainy season in Seattle starts in October and doesn't really end until like May. So, of course, everything's on fire. Like, I think this season. So. I think I'll just start posting memes in the chat.
I signed up for the Dungeons and Dragons club here at university, but I guess it's very popular and you can't really get a space in a game. But I thought that'd be a good way to meet people.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I haven't been able to play anything yet, so it doesn't seem like it'll pan out.
Can you start your own game?
Yeah, I just like I also travel a lot, and I'm only here for 2 more months now. So I guess I would only run like a few sessions. Otherwise, I'd run some Star Trek Adventures. I guess I could. I've been really missing Star Trek Adventures.
Yeah, it's a good game for short campaign. So.
Maybe I'll run TOS stuff I've always wanted to run.
Ooh, nice. Prax, is there an Enterprise game in the fleet?
No. There's no
The last one
Enterprise
had
era.
little problems.
Yeah, I had a few problems.
They're a TOS?
In terms for canon, no, but there is an independent game that's running out of the Discord server that is TOS.
Gotcha.
If we ever, and it'd be nice if we did someday, but if this group ever reassembles to play STA again, I think it would be cool if we rebooted in the TOS era. Because we did 3 years of TNG, so I think it'd be cool to explore a different era.
For sure. We could do an Archer thing and just use our same characters and do a TOS run.
Yeah. I'd be down for an Enterprise game as well. Actually, I got the Utopia Planitia book, and it has official stats for these Enterprise aerospace frames other than the NX class. But TOS, well, specifically like TOS movie era would be like, I think my preferred era to play, if not for like the 2380 sort of time frame, the sort of right after I would run a game just right after the voyage home.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Oops, wrong bridge. All right, so what did I miss?
So Bedden and Lawrence were walking and talking up to the bridge, and Bedden basically just like verbal diarrheaed the past session previous to this one to Lawrence.
Cool. Alrighty, so we'll have you both step out onto the bridge.
Uh, Here we are, sir. I know it's a lot to take in, but we're happy to have you on the bridge.
Out of the frying pan into the fire, I guess. Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Commander. I don't know his first name. Does he have a character sheet? If he does, I
Yeah,
can't see it.
yeah, it's at the very top of everything. It's
Okay.
Travis Lawrence.
I'm Commander Travis Lawrence. I've just been assigned as the ship's first officer, and as I understand, by the current circumstances, acting captain. I understand that you all have a more detailed knowledge of the situation than I do, so I will be looking toward your guidance and experience in handling with this situation. So, are we looking for the captain right now?
Yeah, but something else is
Right.
happening before that.
Okay.
Commander, Captain, we're being hailed.
On screen?
Gotta find where the Tian An Men went. There it is.
DeGrasse will just skip a half beat and just say, USS Expedition. Am I correct? He'll look around the bridge.
You are correct, Captain. I'm Commander Travis Lawrence. I've just newly assigned first officer. I've just assumed command of the expedition.
Is Captain Prax okay?
Do we know anything about it?
Other than she was transported onto the planet a few hours ago, and they erected a very strong defense field to prevent transports. That's about it.
She's fine as far as we're aware, but we have no way of confirming that.
All right, well, Commander Lawrence, we have a situation here. We've discovered a vessel of unknown origin that's in the system. I'll send the coordinates over shortly. It may be hostile, and from the looks of it, it looks like we're outmatched. If you could spare anything, we might be able to use assistance.
Well, there isn't much I think we can accomplish here. As ranking officer, I defer to you for command of our ad hoc task group. Any assistance that we can render, we are prepared to do so.
Good, good. Commander, we'll send the coordinates over shortly. And actually, DeGrasse will order Helm to send the coordinates over.
Coordinates received, Captain. Or Commander.
What is our approximate distance at high warp? Or rather, time of arrival?
43 minutes.
Captain DeGrasse, we can rendezvous with you in 43 minutes.
Well, I was hoping you'd give me a shorter time frame, Commander. Okay, we'll do what we can here. Either hold this unknown ship off, or we'll figure something out, but...
I'll see if Commander Prim can give us a extra few minutes.
Anything will help, Commander. We'll let you know of any new developments in the meantime.
Understood.
Tian An Men out.
Helm, set course, and engage. Maximum warp.
Aye, sir. Poor Captain Prax.
I should have left a probe there or something to keep sending us sensor readings.
Any roleplay on the ship, on the expedition?
Yeah. The commander will make a general pipe to the ship.
Ooh, I think I have a sound effect for that.
Attention crew, I am Commander Travis Lawrence, newly assigned first officer. I have assumed command of the expedition. Sorry, getting tongue twisted. We've had to redivert ourselves to assist the USS Tian An Men. Be prepared for possible combat. And then he'll switch his communication. Bridge to engineering.
Go for Crim.
Commander Krim, I hope to introduce myself more properly later. If it's at all possible, we need everything you can give us for the engine. Captain DeGrasse seems quite concerned about his tactical situation.
Well, we're already running up max, but I'll see what I can do.
Very well, thank you. Bridge out. That's all I wanted.
All right. If someone wants to roll for Crim, I'm probably make this a difficulty 3 roll to try to squeeze a little bit more juice out of the engines. And I'll make this daring or control engineering. I have threat. Complication 2.
What'd you say the roll was?
Daring or control engineering, difficulty 3, comp 2.
Warp field dynamics for a focus.
Yep.
Take a threat and I'll spend 2 momentum. Reroll the comp.
Gain 2. And Crim probably feels you could probably shave maybe 5 to 10 minutes off the trip if you push it past the red line.
I can give you about 10, spare you 10 minutes, Commander. But any further, we'll redline the engines and will be no help to the Tian An Men.
Good. I appreciate your efforts. Thank you. Bridge out.
Sick bay to bridge.
Bridge here, go ahead.
It's about our mysterious guest.
Yes, I don't believe we've been introduced.
Some interesting things I think you should see in person.
Very well, as long as it doesn't consume too much time. I believe we have 33 minutes, or I guess after that test, probably 30 minutes to our destination. I'll be down shortly.
Going by yourself, taking anyone with you?
Yeah, he'll take Bedden with him. I don't know if there's anyone to take command of the bridge, but
There's plenty of people.
in that case, yeah, I guess Coda is a lieutenant, I think, or at least a junior lieutenant. He'll turn toward. I guess he wouldn't know her name, but he'll see the rank pips and say, "Sorry, we haven't been introduced, but assuming you're qualified, I'll leave you with the con. Lieutenant Commander Bedden, please join me."
All right, we'll head down to sick bay. Oh, wait. You actually have a real sick bay here. And here I was setting up the wrong thing.
No, Casey.
Here, I'm still grabbing the wrong thing. Yeah, so you and Benton walk into sickbay.
He'll approach the doctor.
Commander, I'm Dr. Claire McKenzie. Pleasure to meet you. Welcome
Pleasure to
aboard,
meet
sir.
you. And he'll extend his hand to shake.
She'll sit down the instrument she's holding and shake your hand.
Now, what can you tell me about our guest? So, like, how young are we talking? Like, is this like baby digress?
Early 20s, I'd say.
Okay. Is he like conscious or?
Unconscious.
Okay.
So I'll kind of explain the scene. When you get in there, you notice that the other person here is very badly beaten. I mean, it looked like bruises up and down his bodies. You could definitely see where the doctor had to perform some minor surgery to repair broken bones. Extremely skinny, malnourished, to the point where like the rib cage is showing in his tattered garbs. Definitely mistreated, definitely tortured. So she explains all the medical stuff. But that's not the most interesting thing, sir. At first, we thought we were looking at a clone of Captain DeGrasse, but it appears that I believe this might be an offspring.
Offspring?
Definitely half of this individual's DNA is from Commander DeGrasse, but it is mixed with another.
Interesting. Does he, like, looking at him, is he like the spitting image of the guy you just saw on the view screen?
Very similar, but not spitting image.
Okay.
Like the spots would probably a little different. The hair color's different. Maybe the cheekbone structure is different. Little minor differences here and there.
He does look quite similar to the man I just met over the view screen.
Yeah, strikingly similar. That's why I checked to make sure it was a clone, or wanted to see if it was a clone, but it's not showing any markers that it is. But the other thing of I wouldn't call this good news. It appears that his growth may have been accelerated.
How about?
It's really hard to explain. Clearly we're looking at a grown man. I would estimate his age to be around 23, 24. But some of the cells that should be aged appear to only be a few months old, if maybe a year.
I suppose it's too early to make any substantial theories on this.
I'm just spitballing here.
Well,
Either
keep doing what you can
but,
for him medically.
Understand, sir. But either
he-
Captain DeGrasse has a son he hasn't told anyone about, or there's something else going on entirely.
Hmm. We'll have to inform Captain DeGrasse of this, although I think he has enough on his plate at the moment.
I'll keep looking to try to find answers, but in the meantime, there is some more surgeries and repairs I have to do.
Yes, and please keep me updated as to his condition.
Understood, sir.
Um, yeah, I guess he'll return to the bridge then, because we're probably pretty close to arriving.
All right, in the meantime, though, we're going to head back to the now abandoned Captain Prax. So when last I left you, Captain,
He was
Mika
spilling
was
the
just
beans.
about to tell you what he knew.
Yeah.
See, Captain, they were trying to get information out of that other person who looked strikingly similar to you. Spots and all.
Yes.
Asking for information about where they took their, well, I should say my citizens. They believe that fellow had something to do with it.
Is that all? Because they kind of already told me that.
There are, of course, other things I picked up. Maybe a few names.
I mean, a name is helpful.
Heard something called the Expedition. Believe that fellow claimed that's where he was stationed.
Well, he's not, because I'm the captain of the expedition, and he's not one of my officers. Or a crew member.
Well, if you say so.
I find your story very well. I'm sure it's partially in truth, but there still must be something else going on here. Because I assure you, I have never visited this planet, nor to really, if I ever get out of here, care to visit again.
And you would be wiser than most to stay away from this hellscape.
I'm surprised you're even a member of the Federation altogether.
The Federation?
The United Federation of Planets.
They are an independent entity. They're not part of it.
We were checking on Outpost and Federation member worlds.
And other homeworlds. Not entirely member worlds. Like the last two you visited were one was just like had a deal with these people are like totally independent. But it was more like a check-in call. If that makes sense.
Okay.
You know, like a race they met like 40 years ago. Hey, let's make sure they're not doing it or involved.
I
One of those type things.
probably forgot about it. Funny thing you mentioned that. You should probably watch the latest episode of Lower Decks.
Yeah, that was the last episode of Lower Decks. Well, hopefully this goes better than that.
I mean, I did watch it.
Clearly, there's other things you must have overheard.
Something that was said the other day, in fact. This time, I think a name of a person. It was kind of hard to make out over all the screaming. What was that name again? Started with an M. Morton. Martin. Morgan, maybe?
A lot of people have the name Morgan.
I don't know. I just remember him screaming, Morgan's the one you want.
Morgan.
Think that's the right name.
So you're saying, how long ago was this individual here?
Up until you were thrown in here, the individual was here for a few weeks. Maybe months. No, let's go at least a month.
A month. Who would be wanting to use the name of my ship and Morgan? The only Morgan I know who was ever in command of a starship named Expedition was Captain Felix Morgan, and he's in New Zealand, serving out a sentence for endangering his crew, among other dereliction of duties.
Well, I don't know anything about no New Zealand.
It's a rehabilitation center. Well, a much more comfy jail than this.
Sounds like a paradise compared to this place.
You would be mostly correct in that assumption.
And in the distance, you hear heavy metal doors bang open. And you see 4 guards walking toward your cell, Prax.
I see the entourage is here.
You, come with us! As one of them starts to unlock the cell.
I'm assuming they're heavily armed and
Oh, very much so. With what looks like to be stun sticks.
I willingly follow them. So please take me to your leader.
Get moving. Stay quiet. As one of them kind of pushes you in the back forward.
Well, love what you've done with this place. Love the draping.
I said quiet, and he stuns you in the side of the ribs. Let's go, prisoner. And I think with that, we'll head back to the Tian An Men. Is Captain DeGrosse back?
He is. He is. So how long has it been since the Tian An Men contacted the expedition?
We'll say roughly 20 minutes or so. That ship has not responded to any of your hails and is still moving at impulse toward the planet. You estimate that they are probably halfway from where they started to the planet now.
So, yeah, that would put them into planet roughly. Yeah, when Lawrence said that they would arrive. So, okay. Uh, Orgel, does the ship seem to be moving a bit more slowly than you would expect?
It is a big ship, sir, and they do appear to have smaller than expected impulse drives.
Casey, could I ask you to scan for any weaknesses on this ship? Weak points in the hull, weaknesses in their weapon systems, anything.
I'll see what I can find, Captain.
Reason or insight science difficulty 2.
Take it through it. Sensor ops.
Yep. And then sensor science for the ship. All right. Looks like you gain 3 out of that.
Quick question: was there a scene change?
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, weaknesses. So you do notice that although being scale 6, their weaponry doesn't really match the firepower. In game terms, they have a low security score. Their engines are subpar, especially at impulse and thruster speeds, as well as probably only having maybe a warp 7 engine. Their hull, however, is on the stronger side. It's been reinforced at points, probably giving it a little bit better resistance. And it just has a standard sensor array. If there's anything more specific, you may ask questions.
Casey, it's all you.
Seems to clarify it for me. So it has weak weapons but strong armor, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
And it's I'm assuming its shields are currently up, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as you hailed the first time, it raised shields.
Right. You're not answering their hails. our hails. Presumably, we know what they're here to do because they've done it many times before. Let's take a shot across their nose. Show them we mean business. Orgel, move us into phaser range. Let's get ready to give them a quick pop. Let them know we mean business.
So is this a warning shot or a actual shot?
It's a warning shot.
All right, so I'll just narrate this. So Orgel flies you within weapons range. Your tactical officer fires a few warning shots across their bow. And the ship keeps on moving forward. Doesn't slow down, doesn't increase speed, just keeps moving.
Ops open a hailing frequency.
Channel open.
Unidentified ship, this is your last warning. We're serious. Cease proceeding to the planet. Power down, or turn around and go back.
Doesn't look like they're going to respond, sir.
Security. Prepare our weapons. Orgel, since they're big and heavy, can't hit us back too hard. See what we can do let's see what we can do about keeping in motion the entire time. Hit and run tactics. Strafe them back and forth. They look like they can take a lot of hits, but we can deal it out and make sure that they can't hit us back very easily. It's not like they can outrun us. All right, Orgel, bring us around. Security, let's target their engines. Try to disable them.
Aye, sir. All right, so since you're entering combat, I'll let you handle all of that.
Cool.
I can take the character if you want, but they are set up for ground.
They're very much set up for ground.
So what's the difficulty?
Sorry. What are you guys doing? What's the task?
So we're trying to disable their engines.
All right. This will be a difficulty 3. Because you're trying to target their engines, for the system. So, yeah, it'd be a diff 3.
we do an attack pattern if they're not shooting at us yet?
She could probably easily make the shot. She's got a good control security. I'm just wondering. There's momentum. Let's go with um, 2 threat and a momentum. To roll 4 dice. She's got no focus. Ball security for the reroll into another.
And then ship's weapons security.
Oh, we get the momentum back. Versatile all into power drain.
Already?
I'm not sure. We'll just pump all the momentum into power drain for an extra 5 more power, so a total of 7 power. Plus the breach to their engines. We gotta roll dice.
Yeah, you gotta roll some dice.
Roll the challenge dice.
And power drains.
1 point of power.
Effect, or is that?
No. It's just it's a momentum spend. Well, one of the momentums, so we'll go to a reroll of 5. Just to try and get. Technically, we're trying to disable, not destroy the ship, so.
All right, so
really
that
really the 6 power drain to it.
all right, so that will do no damage to their shields. But you do notice that their power dissipates. You did 5, right?
Yeah. No, 6 power drain.
Roll rate.
They still running?
Yeah. You estimate their power is at, so what is that, 22%?
Another shot, Captain. We can disable the ship. Drain the power completely.
Let's do it. We haven't heard anything back from him yet, so.
Do you keep initiative or does it pass to them?
Swift task determination spend. Adapt, improvise, and overcome.
Yep.
And take 3 threat. Or no, it'd be diff 4 now. Take 3. Unless the captain's willing to give Shakavrat his determination.
I think this is a good situation, so sure.
Determination spend on I don't miss.
Yep.
For 2 successes. Take total of 5 threat to roll 4. Re-rolling the 0. 2, 4, 6, 7 successes.
Yep. Need ship.
Roll the ship for shit today.
All right, I believe you gained 3 out of that.
Yep. Roll the phaser damage on the ship.
Ooh, that looks like a hit.
That's 3 to the shields. Because of scale.
It's actually 2 to the shields.
Anyway, both versatile to power drain.
All right. So you shoot again, trying to drain the power of the ship, and as you do, you just see the lights on the outside start to flicker, the engines turn off, and the shields drop. And the ship is just moving on inertia now.
She's disabled, Captain. Not for sure how long.
Good shooting, Chakra.
Does it pass?
Sure. Are we still in combat?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's 2 to retain the initiative unless Shakafra does not have the one talent, so. It's up to you. It's 2 momentum to keep the initiative and someone else go. Or they go.
Yeah, and then I don't know, Prax. What are our chances of disabling the engines next round?
Send a boarding team over. Shields are down.
I'm worried about what we're gonna find. Casey, can you detect the atmospheric composition on the ship?
Well, we have to retain the initiative if you wanted to do that.
Oh shit, that's right. That's an action. Yeah, let's retain the initiative.
All right, and you're wanting the scan for atmospheric composition?
Well, actually, I think just a boarding party would be equipped for that. Hmm.
Well, you might want to know what it is first.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we don't have a crew complement. I don't think we could scan for that as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I mean, with their shields down, we should be able to do a general scan of the ship and grab all of that, I guess. So, yeah, DeGrasse will ask Casey to do a scan of the ship, looking for atmospheric contents, crew complements, anything else of interest on board.
Yep. I'm gonna make this actually a difficulty 3. Reason or insight signs.
Okay. Take a threat. Yeah.
Then be ship sensor signs.
Come on, ship.
Hey.
Hey, ship came through.
Alrighty. So, do I just type this out to you, or do I say it? I think for effect, I'll type it out.
This is rather odd, Captain. I don't detect any signs of crew on board, and there's no atmosphere in the vast majority of the ship, excepting um, the cargo base and other small areas. All key areas of the ship are managed by independent power systems as well.
Self-piloted ship.
It would appear so.
Maybe use this to our advantage. Helm, how long until the expedition should be in the system?
In fact, I'll make that easy for you. You're being hailed by it
On screen.
as as the ship drops out of warp. If I could find the token. And as you are doing that, I'm going to take their turn.
Casey, keep an eye on that ship. Want to know if it's up to anything untoward. Commander, you made a really good time.
Thank you. We have an excellent engineering team on board, I've come to understand.
That you do. And, well, looks like we were able to disable this ship. It was not as much of a fight, I guess, as I thought it would put up, but... Well, Commander, I have an idea, and might make use of your fine engineering team on board your ship.
And what idea would that be?
From our,
Sorry, this is the other Casey speaking. Captain, the ship is powering back up.
Expedition, would you mind disabling this ship very quickly? We actually no what? We'll try it. Chakra, could you keep the ship powered down?
So I sent more information in the case because they're doing
Yep.
more than just that.
Captain, they've raised their shields again.
Diff 3. There's a task to re-raise shields. Just say.
Yeah.
If we're in combat.
Re-raise shields is a minor, isn't it?
Not when they're at 0. If you're trying to regen shields.
Well, they weren't destroyed. They were just powered off. So there's really nothing to regenerate.
Yeah, well, it's whatever.
Yeah,
it's
you're
a
just
mechanic.
gonna.
It's a mechanic, and it's been a long time, so.
Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna drain the power anyway. The Tian An Men rocks as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage comes your way. What's your scale resistance?
So they did 4 of the shields.
I'll do 5 to give you a. where's my breach table? 2 structure. So yeah, the Tian An Men shakes violently as it takes a hit directly to its saucer section, as a few sparks and lights flicker above the bridge.
Chakras, do you think you can power down the ship again?
Shakathra can't go again.
Oh, that's right.
FYI, because we haven't gone through all the players yet.
That's right.
But the expedition is here, and you're still on screen with them.
That is true. Expedition, would you mind powering down this ship again? Seems to be a autopiloted drone ship almost, sent here to steal civilians from this planet. And, well, I was thinking that I might be able to make it think that it stealed its latest compliments and figure out where it's going to go back home to.
Good plan, Captain. I'll check in shortly. Expedition out.
And we'll head over to the expedition.
Red alert, helm. What distance are we from? What range are we from the vessel?
Just for ease, I'll say you're medium. You know what? No, you warped in. I'll say you're long.
Commander Benton, please target their engines. Phaser volley.
Yes, sir.
Right. That will be a diff 4 at this range.
Finds my other character sheets. All right, let me get it set up. Okay, you said diff 4, so take a threat. Actually, take 3 threat, I guess.
How much threat you give me?
3. I'll let that stand.
All right, then ship's weapons security.
I mean, I guess I can roll for the ship if no one else wants.
Yeah.
I got
Oh,
it.
I was
awesome.
looking for the chief.
Awesome.
So you gain 3. Damage, please.
Yeah, never mind. Well, are you putting more power into it?
Yes, I would like to.
How much? You can only go between 1 and 2, so.
Yeah, I mean, let's try to disable it, I guess. Would this be
So-
considered the first round of combat?
Yes.
Okay.
I will tell you they're at 3 power.
There you go.
that's a lot of damage. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So right now you are doing 3.
One versatile into piercing will get you a breach on their engines.
Oh, and that drains 2 power instantly, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's like a good option. Let's do it.
Also increases the difficulty to. There's nothing else to it too. Yeah, and then you could use the other one for power drain. I just looked it up. So if a ship drops to 0, they actually get a complication too, associated with the going to 0.
Okay. I'll give him a complication. Don't think it'll matter, though.
Yeah, let's do what Prax suggested to drain the ship.
Yep. So there goes their power flickering. Shields go down.
Ship is disabled, Commander.
Very well. Good shooting. Please open the channel to the Tian An Men. Captain DeGrasse.
Commander, thank you. Good shooting.
All credit to Lieutenant Commander Benton.
He is a very handsome and talented person. So.
You.
So, Commander, as I said, hear me out. This ship apparently seems to be proceeding to the planet and, for lack of a better way of saying it, stealing some of its inhabitants and presumably bringing them back to, well, wherever it's bringing them back to. I was thinking you might have the engineering resources on board to, well, trick the ship into thinking that it's filled up its coffers and that it's time to go back. We could follow it back to its home location. Figure out where it's coming from.
Yes, we could send over an engineering team. If any of your personnel are particularly qualified as well, we can make this a joint operation.
Of course, we'll see who we can put together.
We'll advise when we have an engineering team ready.
Well, sounds good, Expedition. I know I don't have to say this, but they're going to be actively working on repairing their ship, so the sooner the better. Thanks, Commander.
Expedition out. And he'll turn around. Lieutenant Commander Benton, I'd like you to lead the team. You know the personnel aboard the ship better than I do.
Of course, Commander. I'll put it together. This is really challenging considering We have no player characters that are engineers.
I guess send Sokolov with
Always helpful.
Rockefeller.
Oh, great, Rockefeller.
There's no power to the ship. You don't have to be worried. Don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
True.
We're still in combat.
Let me. Um. Nah, we could go out of combat. It'll be fun for you guys to see what's over there. But while you guys are figuring that out, we will head back to Captain Prax. Captain Prax, you are brought into a very, I don't want to, no, not a small room, maybe a 20 meter by 10 meter room. Lots of devices in here, some of them still covered in blood. You are kind of pushed into the room.
Am I alone?
Two of the guards remained, and there is a new individual in there.
What a lovely place you have here.
As I understand it, you claim that you are not responsible for our people's disappearances. I've been told that you can prove that.
Do you have scans of the vessel other than by name?
Give me Presence Command Diff 2.
Persuasion for a focus?
Yeah.
Take a threat.
Gain 2. We do, but I don't see how they're of any use to you.
They're very much a use to me if you say that the vessel that my vessel and the vessel that you encountered are the same, one and the same, then you could check your scan records of the vessel I came in and the vessel that took your people.
They are in this computer console here. I'll give you limited access, but the fact remains. The ship that stole our people is named the USS Expedition. The ship you arrived on is the USS Expedition.
There are a lot of ships named, well, unfortunately, Expedition. Not just by Starfleet, but other nations. And she's going to look at the computer console and do the comparison.
You changed your avatar pic, and now I'm having trouble finding your name in the list.
Just right click in the Discord and click message. This vessel is a completely different. vessel. The vessel that came to your world is, well, technically a sovereign class vessel. Mine is an intrepid class. They are completely different and actually are much different in terms for size and crew complement. In fact, my ship can barely hold 300 people. This ship, on the other hand, could hold thousands.
Very convenient for you, isn't it?
I wouldn't say convenience is a matter. In fact, I am more disturbed by this as just as much as you are and would like to get to know down to the information. Or, well, know more about it and start a formal investigation because this is a front. Someone is out to, well, frame Starfleet, or there's something very nefarious going on that goes against the principles of my people. I just should also keep asking if diplomat trait would apply in this. But
Probably.
for the roles, that is.
I might be willing to concede that your ships appear different. But is it not the Federation, your Starfleet, who took our people? So why would you be working against them?
Because Starfleet, we have our number one, what we call the prime directive, is to not interfere with other species. We also uphold the sanctity of life. So we would not be taking your individuals. In fact, we have many treaties that bar against the torture and experimentation on sentient life. It would have been given to you on the last Federation ship that came here. At least the last visit 40 years ago.
Me presence command. I'm going to make this a difficulty 3.
Diplomat for a trait.
Yeah.
Lower difficulty by 1.
Sure. Gain 2.
Yeah, I'm just debating or not to. I don't know if this will ever come into play again or not. I would like to gain a determination from the last session on the responsibility to the truth, where I persuaded them to exchange myself for their hostage.
Sure.
And then I like to spend that determination on the same value, responsibility, to truth, to convince them that what I mean is true, that this is not who we are, and yada, yada, yada.
Let's say, yeah, that's all fine.
I'm going to roll flat. Gained 1, I'm going to spend another 1 to squash the complication.
Let's say I believe you. What assurances do I have that you'll bring those who are responsible to justice?
I will do everything in my power to bring those to justice. However, I would highly recommend that you yourself send a diplomatic entourage to the nearest Federation starship, or to the nearest Federation outpost, and file a formal complaint against Starfleet and the Federation. The way it would ensure that what you demand will undoubtedly be sought after and corrected. In fact, I'd be more than happy to deliver such entourage.
We will go there ourselves. We do not trust this Federation. We do not trust your Starfleet to allow our citizens to fly aboard your vessel.
I do not blame you one bit.
Inform your nearest starbase to expect one of our warships to receive this, as you say, formal complaint.
I see.
And should you not fulfill your agreement to bring those who wronged us to justice, we will, of course, hold you personally responsible.
I have a strong feeling if I'm unable to do so, I may probably be dead. If you don't mind, while I have the lovely time in a certain cell, the political, I would say, my cellmate, nearby, has been in prison for 30 years, and he overheard some things, and he was actually quite helpful and gave me an idea of where to start. I would ask maybe some lenience in his sentencing.
If you bring those to justice, we'll consider his help in this matter.
Consider? What exactly are his crimes? If you don't mind me asking.
He is an enemy of the state,
What'd he do?
sought to overthrow our government.
By doing...
He sowed dissent in our election processes.
So he spoke his mind.
Among other crimes.
Then perhaps instead of imprisonment, exile would be a better fitting for him. So he would not sow further dissent.
Where do you propose he go on this exile?
Well, obviously he would be far away from you. Would it matter where he goes? The galaxy is a big place.
I suppose not. And it'll save us the trouble of having to feed and clothe him. But again, we will consider this upon your successful bringing to justice those who wronged us.
If you don't mind, he might have heard some other things that the other individual spoke of. I'm unsure about the state of the other individual's well-being. He could have permanent brain damage. And I may need to ask your other prisoner on what he overheard, unless you have recordings.
What is it you ask?
I wish to know what that individual told you. The one that looked like me.
Give me a presence command difficulty. Oh, we'll make this a 5. I got some threat.
Would you take investigator as a trait to lower the difficulty by 1?
Sure.
And diplomats? Kick in? Or am I asking for too much?
That might be too much.
Oh, I have medals. Medals. I'm going to probably use my Star Cross. Not do anything with violence. Okay. Going to use Starcross, and also the citation for conspicuous gallantry, because I'm going to give you some threats. Take 3 threat, and I'm going to spend. Actually, I'll give you 4th threat. I'll spend 2 momentum to roll 5 dice. Persuasion for focus.
Yeah.
Re-rolling the comp. There's 4. I'm also rolling 3 challenge dice to see how much threat you actually get, and you get no threat.
Boo. I suppose it wouldn't hurt us to give you a recording of the questioning session.
Thank you.
Guards, return to her equipment. And let this be a warning to you, Captain. Do not return without the perpetrators of this crime.
What about proof of their demise? They may not be captured. Alive, that is.
That will be acceptable to us.
And I will do everything I can to ensure that your people are returned to you. Though I am unsure of their state, as you're quite aware.
Should you find them alive, we request that you bring them back to us.
And we will do so, without question.
And one of the guards brings you your phaser communicator tricorder.
Uh, she's gonna tap her comm badge and try to get hold of the ship. She didn't know. She doesn't know they left. Prax to Expedition.
All right. In the meantime, we'll head back to the Tian An Men expedition. To speed things along. Because you guys are on a little bit of a time limit here, and there's one more scene I want to set up. You do your away mission thing, because there's no atmosphere in majority of the places. You probably have to go with EV suits. You quickly find that it is not actually an unmanned ship. It is just manned with a holographic crew. The areas of independent power supplies were actually independent hollow projectors for the holographic crew. For ease, so the question would be, learning that information, how would you guys deal with that?
I think I missed the last part. Like, so it's a holographic crew?
Yes. And the independent power supplies you guys scanned were actually for the holographic emitters in the major sections. Bridge, engineering, things like that.
Can you interact with the holograms at all?
You could. Their response would not be friendly.
Okay. I mean, do they look like any species that we're aware of?
Federation species.
Okay.
Could analyze the code. You created
Yeah.
them.
Sorry, to do what, Captain?
Analyze the code to see who created them or how long they've been operating. I mean, you would also see their personality code and blah blah blah.
Yeah, it'll be a diff 3 if you want to do that. Engineering, reason, or insight.
It's like a roll for Sokolov.
Confirm.
It's the accent, Casey. We've been missing it.
Yeah. I'll try my best. God, where's the feet? What was the roll again? Sorry.
Difficulty 3. They had reason or insight with engineering.
EPS system for focus.
No, this would have to be holographics.
Okay. Yeah, no focus then. You said difficulty 3?
Yeah.
Would you take the value challenge fuels excellence?
Sure.
Yeah, bold, yeah. And then take a threat.
Right, gain 1. So you're analyzing the code. You've probably this holographic crew has probably been
Should be
online.
gain 3.
What's that?
I spent determination. So.
Oh, right. Yeah, you did. So yeah, gain 3. My mistake. So yeah, the holographic crew has probably been online for 6 months or so. Probably about as long as whatever I said they're raiding this place for is probably how long that is. Maybe a couple weeks before. And it's Federation code and programming. sophisticated, more advanced than anything you've seen, but the telltale signs of Federation code are there.
Is there any way for us to determine their navigation, their routes, where they're taking these people back to?
I can give you a roll for that too. So this one is probably going to be a difficulty 4, and it's either going to be science or con with reason or insight.
I guess Casey will roll it. She was on. This is for the away team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Minimized. Difficulty 3.
4.
Insight science. Okay.
Difficulty 4, insight or science.
Yep.
Or insight and science.
Computers
Reason
for
or insight
focus.
was science. Sorry, what was that?
Computers for focus.
No, this would either be like navigation or cartography or something like that.
What about astrophysics?
I'll take astrophysics with increased comp.
Sure. I What about, would you take a determination spend on the value exploration is my passion?
Yeah.
All right. Then I will do 1 threat and a momentum for a 3rd dice as well. Might as well get a reroll.
Don't even need it. 6 successes, you gain 2. And yes, this ship seems to only travel between 2 points. This system and a point in open space. Which you do have the coordinates for.
In that case, I assume they're meeting with someone, so
Yeah, I mean,
like another vessel.
yeah, like unless anyone can think of anything else, I think we might have what we need.
I think that's all we are probably going together this session, but
Well, there is
leave
the
us
one more
PT
scene I
Rumble.
want to do.
Yep.
Yeah, Prax, that's a good point, actually. It's going to self-prepare and continue on with its mission, so yeah, I guess unless we have any reason to believe that there's something unique aboard the ship that, it needs to broadcast at that certain point in open space, to call another ship.
Yeah, could we find maybe there's a way we could disguise the Tian An Men sensor-wise as being that ship, and the Tian An Men could go to the rendezvous spot, and then they just show up. If there's a rendezvous, they show up, and it's like surprise.
You could certainly try.
What's the roll?
Well, first let's decide what you're doing with the ship.
Well, to like search the computers to see if there's like a rendezvous or something that happens, to see if there's a way we could fake being this ship.
So what are you trying to find out?
Like if, well, basically like if there's any record of like beyond just that they go to this, open coordinates, if they're transmitting any sort of frequency or something. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Who are they meeting, and how can we like dupe them into thinking that Tian An Men is this ship if we went there?
Okay, that I could work with. Let's roll. Oh, what would this be? I'm thinking con or engineering. We'll keep it at a diff 4. And I'm thinking control or reason.
Okay. I guess so. Sokolov will roll this.
Yeah, that's my vote.
Gonna be assisted.
No.
Okay. I'll just spend 4 momentum and a threat and roll the maximum dice.
So 2 threat then?
Uh,
Because it would be 6 momentums
oh,
total.
yeah, sorry, five momentum and a threat. Haven't played in a while.
Ooh.
Well, you gain one of them back.
Sorry, I didn't hit focus. Was computers for focus applicable?
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, then that's just one more success. So gain 2.
2 more successes because you got a 5 there.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So 7 total. So you gain 3. Okay. So you searched for the computers to see, the who, what, when, where of their meeting. And it would appear that they are meeting with what appears to be a Sovereign class starship at the coordinates listed.
And are they emitting any sort of like signal?
No,
Or
it almost looks like the Sovereign is there waiting for them.
like it's waiting there now?
You don't know about now,
Okay.
because obviously you're not at the coordinates or near the coordinates. But that was kind of like the thing. Like it would travel back to the coordinates. The Sovereign would be waiting. They'd be there for a couple hours, and then the Sovereign would leave, and the ship would turn around and head back.
Anyone have anything else?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we might have what we need.
Right. And then I think the billion-dollar question is, while the Tian An Men was doing that, what was the expedition doing?
Well, we also had people on the way team, I guess.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Sokolov and Casey. I think it was 2 people from each ship.
Alrighty. Cool. So, yeah, you get all the information, you transport back, then what does everybody do?
Yeah, I think we start working on a plan to follow the lead and probably meet up at that rendezvous point.
We'll come back someday
Oh,
for
that's
Prax.
right. I think we might have forgot somebody.
We'll come back someday for her.
Yeah. She's fine.
You know what? She's been at worse.
That is
Wasn't she
true.
stuck in the mirror universe for like 2 months with Casey?
That is true.
Poor Casey and Prax. They had it really rough that arc.
So I guess GM question is: are the two ships just going to straight to the rendezvous point, or are you doing any detours along the way?
Yeah, we should probably head back.
I think if it's a sovereign class, then the two should stick together and work in a squadron because we might be outclassed. But
Is there
I guess both ships could head over to try and get the captain back.
is there a role to disable, like keep the ship from auto repairing? It just stays in the system for the time being.
So it's being repaired by the holographic crew. Disable the crew, the ship stays disabled, basically.
That's a
Or
good
just-
idea. We should do that then.
Yeah, let's disable it.
All right, yeah, I'll just make this a diff 3 to disable the holographic things, either engineering or security. Security, if you just shoot the power supply. Engineering, if you disable the power supply.
Guess I'll just use engineering.
All right, so this would be control engineering.
Computers focus.
No, still probably holographics.
I'll spend the last of our momentum then for plus a threat. I guess that wouldn't use the last of my momentum. I'll roll 4 dice, I guess. Could this be assisted?
Yeah, I'll give 1 assist.
Okay. I guess Casey will assist.
Yeah. Is it Matthews, I guess?
All right. You're able to disable the holograms, leaving the ship in a apparently permanent state of disabled.
Maybe we could launch a probe just to keep an eye on it, and then we'll know if it starts moving or someone comes to try and rescue it.
Yeah, I won't make you roll or anything for that. That one's pretty easy.
We'll just get a warning if it starts doing anything while we're rescuing the captain.
All right, so back to the captain.
Yep.
All right. So captain, you hit your comm badge. Nothing happens.
Gentlemen, do you happen to know if my ship is still nearby?
Oh yes, they left a few hours ago.
Oh. You wouldn't happen to have a subspace relay system I could borrow? It's a little hard to.
He just points to another console.
Thank you. And she goes over to the console and types in the frequency to get a hold of the expedition.
Sir, we're being hailed.
On screen?
Expedition, I'm sorry, who are you?
Captain Prax, I presume?
Yes, you're in my chair.
Travis Lawrence.
Commander Lawrence, you're in my chair.
Apologies, Captain. I had to assume command. We were unsure of your status.
My status is well in hand. I do require extraction, if you don't mind.
Of course. Uh, we're returning at high warp. There was a minor situation involving the Tian An Men, but it's sorted now. I'll brief you in detail when you're back aboard.
Very well, Commander. I look forward to hearing your report. Where's Lieutenant
Thank you,
Commander?
Captain.
Where's Lieutenant Commander Krim?
What did happen to him?
Engineering.
He is presently in engineering, Captain.
I see. Very well. Your will be your ETA.
20 minutes.
We are 20 minutes out, Captain.
Excellent. I await your arrival. Prax out.
All right, we'll head down to Captain being transported onto the ship. Where did my transporter room go? Where you can be greeted by the good commander here.
Captain, it's an honor to finally meet you in person. I'm your new first officer. And he'll reach out his hand.
She returns the handshake. A pleasure to meet you, Commander. It's not informed that you would be arriving.
I myself was only informed quite recently, dispatched via runabout. It seems a rather last minute assignment.
I see. Do you have all of your, well, the appropriate documentation?
I assume he has, like,
The
orders.
yeah. Essentially, the transfer orders and your service record.
Yeah, he does.
Very well, Commander. If you if we head to the bridge, I'd like to hear all about it before. Well, sorry that you don't have enough time to settle in just yet. I'd like to hear what's happened since I've been my incarceration.
Of course, Captain. I'll try to get you up to speed. I myself am also getting up to speed on all of this. Certainly not the ideal time to assume such a position.
Oh, there's no time like the present. And she motions to head towards her ready room.
So you guys can role play as much as you want of that as you want.
For the sake of time, blah blah blah. That's what happened. The Tian An Men and the hologram ship.
Have you informed Captain DeGrasse of the individual in sickbay?
I have not yet, Captain. Of course, we were preoccupied, and I thought it might be better to do that in person.
Understood.
Now that the situation is stabilized, that may be possible.
She hits a button on her console. Captain to sickbay.
Go ahead, Captain.
What's the status of your patient?
I still have him in a medically induced coma, Captain. He is in very bad shape, but he's stable for now.
Do you expect complications?
It's still touch and go, but I think he's through the worst of it.
Understood. Thank you, Claire. Prax out. And is the Tian An Men with us?
They are. Flying formation.
Ops, pass me through to the Tian An Men.
Put you down to size. There you go.
Captain DeGrasse?
Captain Prax, it's good to see you back.
It's good to be back. However, it seems like we have a very, well, a situation in our hands. I would like for you to beam aboard, if you don't mind.
Of course, Captain. I'll be right over.
Thank you, Habar. And she closes the channel.
Anything you want to say to First Officer before I beam him over?
Get with the quartermaster, and Lieutenant Commander Krim should be able to show you to your quarters.
All right. First Officer leaves. Casey or DeGrasse comes in.
Well, it appears we have a rogue Starfleet vessel in our hands.
Does it appear that way? Everything suggested Federation.
Yes, and I'm afraid this probably goes much deeper than what kidnapping of individuals from different planets.
Sounds like you have some evidence, Captain?
Walk with me.
Sure thing.
Sick bay?
Her quarters.
Oh, okay. Let me find a DeGrasse. There he is.
I know this is going to sound, well, out there, but I've kept certain things from a lot of people on this information that I'm about to tell you.
Yeah. Don't often worry, Captain, but you should be a bit worried.
And she walks into her quarters.
Ross follows.
I'm assuming Kezri's playing.
Yep. Probably just playing with some toys on the floor. You know, maybe playing with the dog. Hi, Mommy.
Hi, sweetheart. How's your day?
Good. We're just playing.
I see that. Could you go take your toys into the other room, please?
Okay. And she takes the dog.
I'm guessing you're wondering where I found Kesri. And before you get more confused, it does pertain to what's going on. She motions to have a seat.
Ross will slowly have a seat. Captain, what's going on?
Nearly a year ago, actually, it's been about a year now, while I was living on New Minervi, after I left Starfleet, I ran into, well, let's just say some black market smugglers. And they were smuggling Kesri to be sold to an Orion who ran a brothel near Klingon space. I managed to rescue Kesri, and she has been in my care ever since. But it's what happened afterwards. I took her to the local clinic to make sure everything is all right with her, and this is the part that gets strange. Half of her DNA is mine. She's, by all intents and purposes, my biological daughter.
Have you given birth?
I did not. And if I had, she would be no more than a year old.
Some sort of cloning technology? I don't understand.
Someone out there is making it's creating children. And growing them to adulthood, from what it appears. There is an individual in sickbay who is, well, proof of that.
Do we know for what purpose, Captain?
I'm not entirely too sure on that. The only individual I know of that really knows about this is Lieutenant Quinnix, the intelligence officer at Deep Space 17. I intend to contact him when we're clear of this. But there is an individual you need to meet in sickbay.
Ross will raise his eyebrow at that. Well, I guess we need to head to sickbay.
Kesri, I'll be back as soon as I can.
Okay, mommy.
And we head to sickbay. Hey, Bar. Meet your son.
Zagras will look at the individual on the table. I don't understand, Captain. I don't have a family. DeGrasse will reach out to touch the individual on the table.
Sorry, sir. He's still in a coma.
Azrael, why is he like this?
He was left behind on the planet the Or did this to him. I have a recording of their, interrogation. I have not yet viewed it yet, but it may be very difficult to watch.
We need to find out who's doing this and for what reason.
They're not the only ones that have been found. To my knowledge, there's a couple others, and there's potentially more. Probably a lot more out there.
Ross will look back and look to Prax. I guess we have a video to view. Oh, and Captain, I don't know if you've been informed yet, but we have coordinates. Seems that whatever this ship was that's been taking people is in meeting up with an expedition, well, with a sovereign class vessel.
Sovereign class vessel named Expedition, who is captained by someone with the name Morgan.
Ross's face immediately drops at the mention of Morgan.
Let's just hope it's not that Morgan. I need to make an inquiry about in New Zealand.
He's involved in this. I'll see to it that, well, he won't be going back to New Zealand.
Temper that resentment, Captain. And she motions to head back to her ready room. Ops, put me through to Earth, the New Zealand penal colony.
Aye, Captain. This is Lieutenant Commander O'Hara of the New Zealand Penal Colony.
Lieutenant, I'm calling to inquire about a inmate, a one Felix Morgan, crewman. I believe he was demoted to enlisted.
He was. Let's see. Felix Morgan, crewman. Nope. No record of that prisoner here, Captain.
You sure about that? I was his attorney after all.
I'm positive, Captain. No one here by that name.
Thank you, Lieutenant. She closes the channel. I guess it's a safe bet. That's Captain. Former Captain Felix Morgan is masquerading as a Starfleet captain again and using a sovereign class with the name of my ship.
Seems like we have a ship to meet up with. Captain?
We can't go in alone at this. It's a sovereign class. Yeah,
Bridge to Captain Prax.
Go ahead, Bridge.
Receiving a message from Deep Space 17 addressed to you.
Put it through.
And on screen is Lieutenant Commander Vogel. Captain Prax, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Commander Vogel.
Hate to interrupt, Captain, but we have a situation that I think we need your help with.
I could say the same thing about you.
Not at liberty to discuss it over open comms. Commander Arif suggests that we meet here on Deep Space 17. And we can fill you in on what's going on.
Understood.
And Captain, if there's anyone you can trust, we might need more ships.
Well, I can think of one standing here right now.
Should have them come to 17 too, Captain.
Very well, Commander. We'll be there as soon as we can.
Thank you, Captain. 17 out.
Seems we have a place to be. Hopefully our paths cross here.
Seems like we do, Captain.
Do you wish for your son to be transferred to Tian An Men?
I think that might be wise, Captain.
We'll make the arrangements before we depart.
Thank you. Got a lot more complicated.
It always does.
Astral. Yeah. I'm gonna head back to the Tian An Men and we'll stay in touch.
See you at 17.
Ross will exits and walk to the transport.
All right. And I think we'll call that the end of Without a Trace.